Earth didn't send generals, it sent assassins in military uniforms. Earth had never sent generals before. Other planets expected diplomats, ambassadors, or fleets of warships led by high-ranking officers. But the humans who arrived at Arvona were different. From orbit, their ships looked ordinary, no extravagant banners, no enormous armadas, just small, sturdy vessels moving in precise formation. Yet the coalition sensed something unusual. Commander Nathan Blake, a veteran of the coalition's military forces, was the first to notice. He had been in countless campaigns, from the icy moons of Dratal to the desert-like plains of Zephyr. But there was a feeling he had never felt before. The humans did not behave like other species. Their movements were silent, controlled, and careful. Nathan leaned over the command console and watched the Earth ships dock. "They're waiting," he said to his aide, Lieutenant Sarah Mills. "But waiting for what?" Sarah adjusted the sensors. She was younger than Nathan but had a sharp mind. Her hair was tied back tightly and her uniform was neat. "Commander, they're not broadcasting any formal identification. No flags, no titles, nothing. It's almost like they don't care if we know who they are." Nathan frowned. "They don't care, or they want us to underestimate them." In orbit, the humans were calm. Among them was Jack Turner, a tall man with steady eyes. He moved along the bridge of the lead ship, watching Arvona's orbital defenses. Nothing was panicked, nothing was rushed. Yet every movement he made seemed purposeful, precise, as if he knew what the coalition would do before they even tried it. On the planet below, the Coalition Council had gathered. Their chambers were vast, with floating tables and holographic displays showing Earth's fleet. The council was made of leaders from the largest colonies, some with multiple arms, some with crystalline skin, others with feathers or bioluminescent markings. All of them stared at the human ships with suspicion. The council's speaker, a tall, blue-skinned figure named Kurlak, raised his hands. "Earth has finally sent representatives. Let us hope they bring messages of peace." A voice from the back, high-pitched and shaky, whispered, "They don't look like diplomats." Kurlak ignored it. "Let them speak." A single transport pod broke from the human fleet and descended to the council's landing platform. It was small, unassuming, and silent. When the doors opened, Lieutenant Anna Hayes stepped out. She was short, with brown hair pulled into a bun. Her uniform was simple, like any military officer's, but she carried herself with confidence. Nathan and Sarah watched the feed carefully. Anna's team followed behind her, about a dozen humans, all in similar uniforms, carrying only what appeared to be standard weapons. Nothing flashy, no signs of ceremony. The humans entered the council chamber without hesitation. Anna spoke first, her voice calm and clear. "I am Lieutenant Anna Hayes. These are my associates. We are here to discuss Earth's position with the coalition." The council murmured. Some leaned forward, eager to hear, while others exchanged worried glances. Nathan noticed that even the most seasoned council members seemed uneasy. There was something in the way the humans moved, in the calmness of their tone, that was unsettling. Kurlak gestured. "Welcome, Lieutenant Hayes. Please sit." Anna nodded. Her team took positions behind her, hands resting casually on their belts. Nathan could see the faintest hint of a smirk on Jack Turner's face. It was small, almost invisible, but it gave Nathan an uneasy feeling. The council began with questions. "Earth has grown strong," Kurlak said. "Why now? Why choose to meet with us after so long?" Anna tilted her head slightly. "Our methods are our own. We believe actions speak louder than words. We have come to make certain that the coalition understands Earth's position clearly." The council members looked at each other. The humans did not bow. They did not display the typical gestures of respect expected in interstellar diplomacy. Instead, they stood straight, shoulders back, eyes calm and steady. Nathan whispered to Sarah, "They are not diplomats, they are something else." Sarah nodded. "They look like soldiers, but not just soldiers. They look like predators in uniform." The council attempted to continue the meeting, but the humans interrupted politely yet firmly. "Before any negotiations, we must review your security systems," Anna said. "It is standard procedure for us." Kurlak frowned. "This is a council meeting. We control this space." Anna's eyes met his. "We understand, but we insist." Nathan felt a chill run down his spine. Something about the calm confidence of Anna Hayes and her team made him uneasy. He had faced many enemies before, but none like this. Suddenly, the humans moved. In a blink, their small concealed weapons activated. A flash, a soft hum, and several council members fell silently. Panic erupted in the chamber. The coalition guards tried to respond, but it was too late. The humans moved with speed that seemed impossible, dismantling defenses and controlling access points before anyone could react. Sarah pressed herself against the wall, heart racing. She could see Nathan kneeling behind the council dais, eyes wide. "They're not soldiers," he muttered. "They're trained killers, assassins." Anna moved calmly through the chamber, speaking as she went. "We are here to ensure there is no misunderstanding. Your leadership must understand that Earth will not tolerate threats to its sovereignty." Jack Turner moved to a console, his fingers dancing over the controls. Holograms flickered, and several doors locked automatically, trapping coalition members in safe zones. "Minimal casualties," he said quietly to a colleague. "Maximum disruption." The coalition soldiers tried to regroup, but every attempt failed. The humans anticipated every movement, every reaction. Nathan realized that the humans had studied them. They knew exactly how the coalition would respond, every defense, every strategy. From a maintenance shaft, Sarah observed how the humans used the environment. A hanging light became a weapon, a panel became a shield. Every object was a tool, every moment was planned yet flexible. The humans did not panic, did not rush, did not hesitate. They moved as if time itself slowed for them. Nathan whispered, "I have never seen anything like this. Not in any war, not on any battlefield. They're perfect." Sarah nodded, eyes wide. "And they're just getting started." Outside the council chambers, coalition reinforcements tried to land, but Earth's ships had already blocked the approach. Their small, precise fleet moved like a net, cutting off escape routes without firing openly. Nathan realized that the humans were not only fighting inside, they had already won the space above. Anna Hayes walked back toward the council floor, calm and measured. "We do not seek unnecessary bloodshed," she said. "We only act when needed. Understand this, Earth is not weak. Earth does not beg. Earth does not negotiate with threats. We act." The council members, trapped and shocked, struggled to comprehend what had just happened. Some tried to speak, but fear froze them. Nathan and Sarah, hidden in shadows, exchanged a glance. "We need to get out of here," Nathan said. "We need to warn the rest of the coalition." Sarah nodded. "If we survive this, maybe the galaxy will finally understand Earth." Outside, the human ships waited silently in orbit. Their pilots were calm, eyes scanning every threat. On the ground, the humans moved with precision, eliminating only what was necessary, leaving enough chaos to send a message. Nathan and Sarah slipped away through the maintenance corridors. Every step they took was careful, every corner a potential trap. But the humans were efficient, they left nothing to chance. Even shadows seemed watched. Jack Turner paused, scanning the corridors. "They are escaping," he said. "Let them see, let them understand." Anna Hayes gave a nod. "The message is clear. Earth does not send generals. Earth sends those who act when the moment demands it. The galaxy will remember this day." Nathan and Sarah finally reached a safe room, doors sealing behind them. They collapsed against the wall, breathless. "They didn't just attack," Sarah said quietly. "They showed us. They showed the galaxy what Earth can do." Nathan ran his hand over his face. "And we're not ready for it. No one is ready for this." Outside, the human fleet remained in orbit, silent and unyielding. The stars reflected off the hulls of their ships, bright and sharp. Humanity had arrived not as diplomats, not as generals, but as something the galaxy had never faced before: precise, patient, and deadly. In that moment, Nathan realized something he had never believed possible. Humans were not just survivors. They were predators in a sea of weaker species, and they were just beginning to show the galaxy their power. The message was clear. The Coalition would never forget. Earth did not send generals. Earth sent assassins. And the galaxy would soon learn that underestimating humanity was the greatest mistake anyone could make. The council chambers were in chaos. Smoke curled in the air, alarms blared, and coalition members ran in every direction, screaming orders that went unanswered. Nathan Blake and Sarah Mills had found a hidden maintenance corridor, but even there, they could hear the sound of humans moving with deadly precision. Every footstep, every motion seemed deliberate, like a predator stalking prey. Nathan leaned against the cold wall, trying to calm his racing heart. "They're not just attacking," he said. "They're controlling everything. Every system, every door, every camera. They know exactly what they're doing." Sarah nodded, eyes wide as she peered around the corner. "It's like they planned this for years. Every detail, every weak point, they're exploiting it all." In the main chamber, Anna Hayes moved with calm efficiency. She was a human, but she acted like she belonged to the shadows, not the light. A holographic display floated before her, showing the layout of the entire council complex. With a few taps and swipes, she highlighted paths, security locks, and communications lines. Her team moved with her, silent and effective, neutralizing threats with minimal effort. Jack Turner crouched by a console, his fingers flying over the keys. The security systems of Arvona, some of the most advanced in the galaxy, fell under his control in minutes. Doors opened, alarms were silenced, and traps were turned against their own creators. Nathan realized something that chilled him. "They don't just fight," he whispered to Sarah. "They use the enemy's weapons and systems as their own." Outside the council chamber, Coalition soldiers attempted to regroup. A squad of 10 armed guards moved down the main corridor, blasters ready. But before they could reach the humans, Anna's team intercepted them. Without firing a single shot openly, the humans disabled them. A swinging door knocked one off balance, a railing became a restraint, and by the time the squad realized what happened, they were disarmed and incapacitated. Nathan and Sarah watched from the shadows, trying not to breathe. "It's like watching ghosts fight," Sarah said quietly. "They move and nothing happens until it's already over." Nathan shook his head. "No, not ghosts, predators, calculated, smart, deadly predators." In another part of the complex, Coalition technicians tried to send a warning to other planets in the Coalition. Their fingers flew over control panels, sending encrypted messages. But Jack Turner anticipated this. Within seconds, every transmission was intercepted, redirected, or blocked. The humans did not destroy the equipment. They simply used it against its operators. One technician, a young woman named Lyra, froze as a human appeared behind her. Jack's eyes met hers, calm and unreadable. Lyra gasped, thinking he would attack. But instead, he simply tapped the console, sending her own message back to her superiors with a note: "Do not underestimate Earth." Meanwhile, Nathan and Sarah tried to move to a safer location. Every corridor seemed monitored, every turn potentially dangerous. But the humans allowed them to move. It was not kindness. Nathan knew that. It was strategy. The humans wanted everyone to understand that they were in control. Every action, every decision was a lesson in their efficiency. Anna Hayes paused in a side chamber, checking her team. Each member moved with focus, calm, and readiness. "Keep going," she said. "Minimal exposure, maximum effect. Show them our capabilities." A human soldier, small and wiry, nodded and vanished down another corridor. Moments later, 2 coalition leaders were quietly subdued in the cafeteria. No screams, no struggle, just control. Nathan's mind raced. He tried to imagine a plan, a way to fight back, but every idea he had was anticipated by the humans. It was as if they could see his thoughts before he even formed them. He grabbed Sarah's arm. "We need to find the council leader. If we can protect him, maybe we can regroup." Sarah nodded, though fear tightened her chest. "We'll have to move through the lower levels. That's where the humans haven't reached yet." They crept through the maintenance corridors, moving slowly to avoid detection. Nathan noticed small marks in the walls, subtle signs of the humans' presence. A slight scratch here, a tiny smudge there, nothing obvious but enough to know they had been there. "They're everywhere," he whispered, "and they're fast." Below the main chamber, a communications hub buzzed with activity. Coalition engineers were frantically trying to reroute power and restore alarms. Jack Turner and another human, small and muscular, appeared silently behind them. In seconds, the humans had the hub under control. Not a single shot was fired. The engineers were restrained with cords, bent wires, and quick thinking. Jack glanced at Nathan through a security camera feed. Nathan froze for a moment. It was impossible. How could the humans see him? He realized they didn't need to see. They could predict, anticipate, and prepare. Meanwhile, Anna Hayes moved to the council archives. Here, all records of the coalition's intelligence, troop movements, and strategies were kept. She scanned the files quickly, selecting the most important data. Every piece of information was methodically copied and stored in secure human systems. The humans were not here to destroy. They were here to teach, to warn, to show strength. Back in the maintenance corridor, Nathan and Sarah found themselves blocked by a closed hatch. On the other side, faint sounds of movement echoed. Sarah pressed her ear to the door. "They're close," she whispered. "We can't go that way." Nathan examined the panel. The lock was complex but not impossible. "We have to," he said. "If we turn back, we risk running straight into them." Using tools scavenged from the corridor, Nathan worked on the lock. Sweat ran down his forehead as he manipulated wires and gears. Moments later, the door hissed open. They slipped through, barely making a sound. They emerged in a large storage bay. Crates and containers provided some cover, but they were exposed. Nathan scanned the area. Across the bay, movement caught his eye. A human soldier appeared at the far end, walking slowly, casually. He carried a small device that seemed simple but was deadly. Sarah froze. "Nathan, what do we do?" Nathan took a deep breath. "We wait, we watch, and then we move when we must." The human soldier stopped, glanced in their direction, and then moved away. It was deliberate, almost like a lesson. The humans could have attacked, but they didn't. They were showing restraint, control, and power. Meanwhile, Anna Hayes finished securing the archives. She signaled her team to move to the exit points. "Mission nearly complete," she said. "Now we prepare for extraction. Let the coalition know that Earth is not weak. Let them know what we are capable of." Outside, the human ships remained in orbit, waiting silently. The calmness of their presence contrasted sharply with the chaos on the ground. Nathan knew that the humans were not here for simple conquest. They were sending a message, one that would be remembered across the galaxy. Nathan and Sarah finally reached the upper levels, where some coalition forces were attempting to regroup. Soldiers looked at them, faces pale, fear in their eyes. "It's worse than we thought," Nathan said quietly. "They're not just fighting, they're teaching." Sarah shivered. "Teaching or warning?" Nathan did not answer immediately. He watched as another human moved through the corridors, dismantling security drones with a single gesture. "Both," he finally said. "They're warning us, and showing what will happen if we make a mistake." Hours passed, though it felt like minutes. The humans moved with patience, never rushing, never panicking. Nathan began to understand that this was the true strength of Earth's forces. They were not fast because they acted quickly. They were fast because they thought ahead always and always stayed in control. By the time the humans withdrew from the council complex, the damage was total. Coalition leadership was shaken, systems were disrupted, and the survivors were terrified. Nathan and Sarah had managed to escape, but the lesson was clear. Earth did not fight like any other species. Earth fought with intelligence, patience, and absolute precision. Nathan finally spoke aloud. "This is only the beginning. They didn't just attack us. They showed us how powerful they are. And we aren't ready," Sarah nodded. "We'll never be ready, not for humans like them." Outside the planet, Earth's fleet formed a quiet perimeter. The stars reflected off their hulls like mirrors of steel and light. There was no celebration, no loud proclamation, just calm, just control. The humans had come to Arvona not for glory, not for war. They had come to demonstrate capability, and the galaxy would remember. Nathan and Sarah looked out from the last safe observation deck, watching the human ships. A message resonated in Nathan's mind, clear and undeniable. Earth does not send generals. Earth sends those who act when the moment demands it, and the galaxy would never underestimate them again. The city of Arvona was quiet now, but the calm was deceptive. Fires burned in some districts, and the hum of alarms echoed from abandoned command centers. Nathan Blake and Sarah Mills moved cautiously through the streets, sticking to shadows. Their minds were heavy with what they had witnessed. Earth's humans were unlike any enemy they had ever faced. "They are everywhere," Sarah whispered, her eyes scanning the empty avenues. "I don't think there's a place on this planet they haven't touched," Nathan nodded. "And they're not just strong, they're smart. Every move is planned, every action calculated." Above them, small human reconnaissance drones hovered silently, almost invisible. Nathan spotted them only because of the faint shimmer of light reflecting off their surface. He realized that the humans were watching, learning, anticipating. The thought made his stomach tighten. In a secure building far from the streets, Anna Hayes and her team reviewed the progress of the mission. "The Council is effectively neutralized," Anna said calmly. "Their defenses are broken. Communications are controlled. Now we move to the secondary objectives." One human, a tall man named Cole, checked a map of the city. "Transport routes are clear. Minimal interference from local security forces. Evacuation is not needed." Anna nodded. "Good. Precision matters more than speed. We demonstrate capability, not destruction." Back on the ground, Nathan and Sarah had reached the outer sector of the city. Coalition soldiers were attempting to regroup, but fear slowed them. Nathan knew that morale was now their biggest enemy. Even if they had numbers, humans had already shown that numbers alone meant nothing. Suddenly, a loud metallic clang echoed from a nearby alley. Nathan froze. "Stay low," he whispered to Sarah. Two humans appeared at the far end of the alley. They moved silently, almost gliding over debris. Nathan counted 5 soldiers and realized they were completely exposed. Without hesitation, the humans acted. One swung a baton, knocking 2 soldiers unconscious. Another used a small device that emitted a high-pitched pulse. It disoriented the rest, making them collapse to the ground. Sarah's mouth fell open. "No one can move like that unless they're not human." Nathan shook his head. "They're human, but trained beyond what any other species can do. Perfect soldiers, assassins in uniform." The humans turned, scanning the streets. Their eyes were calm, precise, unblinking. Nathan realized that if they had seen him and Sarah, it would be over in an instant. But somehow, they had not noticed them yet. The humans moved on, leaving the coalition soldiers incapacitated. Nathan and Sarah continued through the streets, moving toward the city's communications hub. If they could restore contact with other coalition forces, they might still salvage some control. But the hub was heavily guarded by humans. Inside the hub, Jack Turner and 2 other humans had already taken control. Coalition technicians sat at their stations, restrained but unharmed. Jack typed quickly, redirecting all outgoing messages and cutting off unauthorized transmissions. "We keep them informed," he said softly, "but only what we want them to know. Anna Hayes entered the room and glanced at the technicians. "Do not panic. You are not our enemy. You are witnesses to the truth of Earth's capabilities." The technicians stared at her wide-eyed. One muttered, Why are you doing this?" Anna's gaze was steady. "Because Earth does not bluff, Earth acts, and today you have seen how humans act." Meanwhile, Nathan and Sarah reached the perimeter of the hub. Security doors blocked their way. Nathan examined the panel, his mind racing. "We can get through this, but it will take time," he said. Sarah glanced at him nervously. "Time we don't have. They could be anywhere." Nathan nodded and began working on the lock. Sparks flew as he carefully manipulated wires. Seconds felt like hours. Finally, the door hissed open. They slipped inside, trying to move quietly. The interior of the hub was a maze of corridors, cables, and flashing screens. Nathan spotted movement at the far end, a human walking calmly through the room. Sarah froze. "We're too exposed," she whispered. Nathan crouched behind a support beam. "We wait for the right moment. We can't fight them directly, not now." The human passed, unaware of their presence. Nathan breathed a silent sigh of relief. "We need to reach the main control room. That's where the communications are routed." They moved cautiously, avoiding cameras and patrols. Every corridor seemed to have been mapped by the humans. Nathan realized that the city itself was under their control. Streets, buildings, power lines, nothing was safe from human influence. In the main control room, Jack Turner was monitoring the city's systems. A small display showed Nathan and Sarah moving through the corridors. Jack smiled faintly. "They're trying to reach the hub." Clever but predictable. He tapped a few keys, adjusting the environment subtly. Lights dimmed in one corridor, a door locked temporarily in another. It was enough to slow Nathan and Sarah without harming them. Humans understood control. They could fight or they could manipulate. Nathan and Sarah finally reached the main door. Nathan examined it, looking for weaknesses. "This is it. We get in or we find another way. No choice." Sarah nodded, gripping her small blaster. "Ready when you are." Nathan worked quickly, disabling the locks. The door clicked open and they slipped inside. The room was filled with consoles, displays, and the faint hum of servers. But before they could reach the main panel, a voice spoke from the corner. "Impressive," said Anna Hayes, stepping out from the shadows. "But not enough." Nathan froze. Sarah raised her weapon, but Anna's calm demeanor made them hesitate. She didn't look aggressive, yet every movement was deliberate, precise, and controlled. "You think you can undo what we've done?" Anna continued. "The city, the council, the systems, all under our control. You are witnesses, not opponents. Learn from this." Nathan swallowed. We need to restore communication. Others need to know what's happening." Anna shook her head slightly. "You will not restore anything yet. You will understand what Earth is capable of first." Nathan and Sarah realized then that the humans were not just attacking. They were teaching, demonstrating, and warning all at once. Every action had purpose, every movement had meaning. Outside the city, human ships remained in orbit, silent and unyielding. Their presence alone was a reminder that Earth's reach extended far beyond what anyone had imagined. Nathan turned to Sarah. "We have to find a way to get past them. The coalition depends on it." Sarah nodded, though fear weighed heavily on her. "If we survive this, maybe we can learn something from them. Maybe understand their methods." Inside the hub, Jack Turner and his team continued their work. Every message, every system, every security measure was under control. Humans had taken minimal action to achieve maximum effect. It was not brute force. It was intelligence, precision, and patience. Nathan and Sarah moved through the hub, careful and quiet. They observed the humans in action, noting their coordination and strategy. It was clear now, humans did not rely on weapons alone. They relied on thought, prediction, and adaptability. Anna Hayes watched them from the corner, her eyes calm but sharp. "They think they can challenge us," she said softly. "Let them try. They will learn." Hours passed. Nathan and Sarah managed to gather some data from the hub, enough to send a limited warning to the outer coalition forces, but they knew it was incomplete. The humans had anticipated it. Every measure they took was accounted for. As they prepared to leave, Nathan whispered, "We are outmatched in every way, but we cannot give up." "Not yet," Sarah nodded. "We survive, we learn. That is our only chance." Outside, the city lay in controlled chaos. Humans moved with patience, precision, and calm. Fires burned, alarms echoed, but every action was purposeful. Nathan realized that this was the true power of Earth's forces, not the ships, not the weapons, but the humans themselves. They were adaptable, intelligent, and deadly. They acted when others hesitated. They thought when others panicked, and they would not stop. Nathan looked at the stars, at the quiet human fleet above. "Earth doesn't send generals," he said. "Earth sends those who act when the moment demands it, and no one, not the coalition, not anyone else, is ready for them." Sarah's voice was quiet. "And now we know, we've seen it. We can warn others, we have to survive." Nathan nodded. "We survive, we learn, we prepare. That's the only choice we have." The humans in the city moved like shadows, silent and precise. Nathan and Sarah slipped into the night, carrying knowledge, fear, and awe. Earth had arrived, and the galaxy would never be the same. The coalition forces were in disarray. Fires burned across Arvona, and alarms rang in empty halls. Soldiers ran through the streets in confusion, trying to organize themselves, but every move they made seemed anticipated. Nathan Blake and Sarah Mills crouched in a ruined building, watching the chaos unfold. "They control everything," Nathan whispered. "Not just the council, not just the city, they control the minds of everyone trying to fight them." Sarah shook her head. "They're humans. How can they be this smart, this fast, this perfect?" Nathan did not answer. His eyes scanned the horizon, noting the faint shimmer of drones and small human teams moving through the streets. Every step the humans took seemed quiet but purposeful. It was like watching water find the easiest path through rocks, flowing and bending but unstoppable. Above the city, Earth's ships hovered in orbit. They did not fire, they did not move aggressively. Their presence alone was enough to keep coalition reinforcements from entering the city. Nathan realized that the humans did not need to fight in open battle. Control, anticipation, and patience were enough to dominate. Inside the city, Anna Hayes and her team had moved to the secondary objectives. These included key supply depots, communications hubs, and planetary defense stations. Each location was secured quickly, without unnecessary violence. Humans moved like surgeons, precise and clean. Jack Turner entered one of the defense stations, a small device in hand. He tapped it against a control panel, and the massive planetary shields flickered under his command. Nathan watched from a distance, barely breathing. The humans were not just soldiers, they were masters of every system. "Commander, look at them," Sarah whispered. "They're not fighting, they're teaching, showing what will happen if anyone threatens Earth." Nathan nodded slowly. "And if we try to stop them, we will learn the same lesson." In a narrow alley, coalition soldiers attempted to ambush a small human team. 5 soldiers waited, weapons ready. The humans approached casually, unaware of the trap. At the last moment, one human spun, using a stun device that released a high-pitched pulse. 2 soldiers fell immediately, clutching their heads. Another human used a cable from the environment to tie the remaining soldiers, leaving them unable to fight. Nathan watched from the shadows, awed. Even in the face of ambush, the humans remained calm and effective. "Every move is predicted," Nathan said quietly. "They know exactly what we will do." Sarah swallowed hard. "And they are just getting started." Meanwhile, Anna Hayes moved to a communications hub controlling the city's external signals. She scanned the systems, her eyes calm but sharp. "We will redirect all coalition communications," she said. "They must understand that Earth is not a planet to be underestimated." A coalition technician, shaking and pale, tried to speak. Why? Why do you do this? We didn't attack you. Anna's gaze was steady. We do not punish weakness. We prevent mistakes. Today you learn what happens when a threat to Earth is ignored. Outside, Nathan and Sarah reached a partially destroyed bridge leading to the main hub. Coalition soldiers were attempting to defend it, but morale was low. Nathan realized that fear alone could be as deadly as any weapon. "Stay low," he whispered. "We can't fight them head-on, not now." They moved cautiously, using debris and shadows for cover. Above them, a drone hovered silently, watching, waiting. Nathan's hands shook slightly as he checked his blaster. He realized that the humans had created an environment where the coalition could not even think clearly, let alone plan. Inside the hub, Jack Turner had already taken control of external transmissions. He typed quickly, redirecting messages and blocking alerts. Every coalition signal was under human control. Nathan's heart sank. Even if he reached the hub, he could not reverse the situation quickly. "Commander, what do we do?" Sarah asked. Nathan took a deep breath. "We observe, we learn, then we act. That's the only way we survive." The humans, meanwhile, moved through the hub silently. They did not rush. Every step was deliberate. Every motion had a purpose. Nathan realized that this was the strength of Earth's soldiers: patience, calculation, and control. Anna Hayes checked her team. Minimal exposure, maximum effect. Show the coalition what happens when Earth is ignored. Cole, a human soldier, nodded and moved to another control station. In seconds, all automated defenses were redirected to block coalition reinforcements. Nathan watched, speechless. Even the weapons meant to protect the city were now tools for the humans. In a narrow side corridor, Nathan and Sarah found themselves trapped. A human team blocked their path. Nathan froze. Sarah gripped his arm. "We can't fight them." Nathan studied them. The humans stood calm, weapons at ease. It was not a challenge. It was a lesson. "We move carefully," he whispered. "When they act, we react, but we do not fight unless necessary." The humans moved on, leaving the corridor empty. Nathan exhaled slowly. "They don't just fight," he said. "They control the battlefield before it even exists." Outside the hub, coalition reinforcements had arrived, attempting to land near the city. Earth's ships blocked them quietly but effectively. Nathan realized that humans did not need to fire to dominate. Presence, control, and precision were enough. Inside the city, Anna Hayes moved to a supply depot. She scanned the stored weapons and equipment. With a few gestures and taps, she reorganized everything, leaving the coalition with only what humans allowed. Nathan and Sarah watched from a distance, hidden in a ruined building. "They aren't taking everything," Sarah whispered. "They're leaving just enough so we understand, enough to survive but not enough to resist." Nathan nodded. "A lesson in restraint and power at the same time. They are teaching us without words." As night fell, the city was eerily quiet. Fires burned in some districts, alarms echoed faintly, but the humans had moved efficiently. Nathan and Sarah slipped through shadows, moving toward the city center. They had managed to avoid direct contact, but the humans' influence was everywhere. In the main plaza, Anna Hayes stood with her team. "Mission nearly complete," she said. "Now we prepare for withdrawal. Let the coalition see what Earth is capable of. Let them understand the cost of underestimating us." Jack Turner tapped a console, sending encrypted messages to Earth Command. Nathan realized that even communication was under human control. Every message, every detail was part of their plan. Nathan turned to Sarah. "We have to warn others. We can't stop them yet, but we can make sure other systems are ready. That's our only chance." Sarah nodded. "If we survive this, maybe the coalition will finally understand. Maybe they will respect humans as more than just another species." Outside, the human ships began a quiet withdrawal. Their presence was still intimidating, still controlled, still deadly. Nathan and Sarah watched, understanding that the humans had achieved their goal. They had not destroyed the coalition. They had not conquered the city completely, but they had shown power, control, and intelligence. Nathan said quietly, "Earth doesn't send generals. Earth sends those who act when the moment demands it. And today, they have shown exactly what that means." Sarah's voice was barely audible. "We've seen it, we've survived, and now we have to prepare for what comes next." The humans disappeared into the night, silent and precise. Nathan and Sarah moved through the city, carrying fear, knowledge, and awe. Earth had arrived, and the galaxy would never forget the lesson. For Nathan, one thought remained clear. Humans were not just soldiers. They were masters of control, patience, and precision, and they would not stop. As the stars reflected off the quiet human ships above, Nathan whispered, "The galaxy will learn, and when it does, no one will ever underestimate Earth again." The city of Arvona was quiet now. Fires burned in some streets, but most of the city had fallen into a controlled silence. Coalition soldiers moved cautiously, checking empty buildings, confused and fearful. Nathan Blake and Sarah Mills made their way to a high observation point, trying to assess the situation. "They've done everything they wanted," Nathan said quietly, "and not a single unnecessary life was lost, at least on their side." Sarah shook her head. "I still can't understand how they do it. They are humans just like us, but they're different, perfect." Nathan frowned. "Different isn't the word. There's something more. They think faster, react faster, and plan further ahead than anyone we've seen, and every single one of them moves like it's part of the same mind." Far above, Earth's ships hovered silently. There were no guns firing, no alarms from orbit. Yet the Coalition knew that any reinforcements trying to reach Arvona would be blocked. It was a quiet but absolute dominance. Nathan realized then that humans did not need to attack openly. Their presence alone made the galaxy think twice before challenging them. Inside the city, Anna Hayes and her team moved through the streets. They were calm, almost serene, but every step was deliberate. Their mission was complete, but they stayed alert, ready for any last threats. Every corner of the city had been secured, every important system was under human control, and every message the Coalition would receive was already filtered to teach a lesson. Jack Turner entered a central communications hub, typing rapidly. All signals in and out of the city were redirected. Coalition forces trying to send warnings to other planets found their messages either delayed or intercepted. Jack smiled faintly. "They think they control the situation," he said softly. "We'll make sure they understand how wrong that is." Nathan and Sarah moved through the outskirts of the city, avoiding patrols. They had managed to gather some information to warn the outer colonies, but it was limited. Even so, they carried it carefully. Every piece could save lives if used wisely. "Do you think we can warn anyone?" Sarah asked. "Do you think they'll believe us?" Nathan shook his head. "Some will, some won't, but they have to see what's happening with their own eyes. Humans don't need to prove strength with fleets or weapons. They prove it by action, by precision, by intelligence. That's why they're terrifying." Meanwhile, Anna Hayes moved to a supply depot on the city's edge. She surveyed the stockpiles and reorganized them, leaving the Coalition with just enough resources to function, but never enough to challenge humans. Every action was controlled, measured. Every message was clear. Earth had arrived, and it would not be underestimated. Cole, one of the human soldiers, nodded. "Everything is set. Do we withdraw?" Anna looked at him calmly. "Yes, the lesson is complete. Let them understand the consequences of underestimating humanity." Back at the observation point, Nathan and Sarah watched the human teams move calmly through the city, disappearing into the shadows. Nathan felt a mix of awe and fear. He realized that the humans' true strength was not in weapons, not in numbers, but in their minds, their discipline, and their ability to act when others hesitated. "They don't fight like anyone else," Nathan said. "They think faster, act faster, and control everything before anyone realizes it." Sarah nodded slowly. "We saw it, we survived it, and now we have to live with it. In orbit, the human fleet began a slow, silent withdrawal. Their ships reflected the starlight like mirrors, silent and precise. No celebrations, no loud announcements, just calm, just control. Humanity had made its statement, and the galaxy would not forget. On the ground, coalition soldiers tried to regroup. Commander Kurlak, blue-skinned and tall, stood among the survivors. His eyes were wide, filled with fear and respect. This is what humans can do?" he asked, voice shaking. Nathan stepped forward. "Yes, and it's only the beginning. They don't just fight like other species. They think, they plan, they control, and if you ever challenge Earth, you will learn the same lesson we did." Kurlak nodded slowly. "We underestimated them. We cannot do that again." In the quiet streets, Anna Hayes and her team prepared to leave. Every movement was deliberate. Every human soldier moved as if part of the same mind, coordinated, precise, calm. Nathan watched them from a distance, understanding that this was not about brute force. This was about intelligence, discipline, and patience. Jack Turner sent one final encrypted message to Earth Command. "Mission complete," he said quietly. "We have shown them our strength and we have controlled the situation. Return home." Nathan and Sarah moved toward a safe exit point. They had survived the humans' assault, witnessed their methods, and understood the true message. Earth had not sent generals. Earth had sent humans who acted with precision, intelligence, and deadly calm. "They're not like anyone else in the galaxy," Nathan whispered. "And now we've seen the proof." Sarah's voice was quiet. "Do you think they'll come again?" Nathan nodded slowly. "If they need to, and when they do, the galaxy will already know that humans cannot be underestimated." The city of Arvona lay in controlled chaos, fires smoldering, alarms ringing faintly, but the humans had left their mark. Coalition leaders would talk about this day for decades. They would recount the calm, calculated, and terrifying efficiency of the humans who moved like shadows and controlled everything without even raising a weapon openly. Nathan and Sarah finally reached a safe zone, where coalition forces had regrouped. Survivors looked at them wide-eyed, trying to understand what had happened. Nathan spoke clearly. They were humans, and they were unstoppable, but they were not reckless. Every move had meaning. Every action had purpose. That is the difference. Sarah added, "We must learn from this. We must adapt, or next time we won't survive." Outside the city, Earth's fleet moved silently through space, disappearing into the stars. There were no fanfares, no loud announcements, just quiet dominance. Nathan and Sarah watched the sky, understanding that the humans' power was not just in battle. It was in intelligence, control, and foresight. Nathan said quietly, "The galaxy has been warned. Earth does not send generals. Earth sends those who act when the moment demands it. And no one will forget that." Sarah nodded, still in awe. "We've seen it, we've survived it, and now we carry the lesson forward." The humans had shown their strength, their patience, and their precision. They had acted when the moment demanded it, leaving a lasting mark on the coalition and the galaxy itself. Nathan realized that Earth's methods would change interstellar strategy forever. No longer would any planet think of humans as weak. No longer would anyone doubt the power of a species that acted with intelligence, skill, and calm precision. Nathan and Sarah looked at each other, understanding the truth of what they had witnessed. Humans were not just soldiers. Humans were masters of strategy, precision, and control. They had arrived not to conquer, but to teach the galaxy a lesson it would never forget. And as Earth's fleet vanished into the stars, Nathan whispered, "The galaxy will remember this day, and every time someone underestimates humans again, they will pay the price." Sarah shivered but nodded. "Yes, they've set the standard. And now everyone knows, never underestimate Earth." The city of Arvona remained silent, the fires dying down, and the survivors slowly regained their senses. But in the shadows, the memory of humans moving like shadows, thinking like predators, and acting with absolute control would remain forever. Nathan looked up at the sky, the stars reflecting off the last human ship disappearing into the void. "This is what makes them different," he said. "Not the weapons, not the numbers, it's the mind, the intelligence, the precision, and that is unstoppable." Sarah nodded. "And that's what we survived. That's what the galaxy must now face. Humans are not like anyone else. And they never will be." The galaxy had been warned. Earth did not send generals. Earth sent humans who acted when the moment demanded it, precise, calculated, and unstoppable. And the memory of their presence would shape every decision, every plan, and every battle in the galaxy for decades to come. Nathan and Sarah walked away from the observation point, carrying the knowledge, fear, and respect that humans had earned. The lesson was clear, and the message would echo across the stars. Underestimate Earth at your own peril.